So this year I want to start a heart-shaped bullet journal. Stick around and I'm going to tell you why and how I'm going to do it. Hi guys, it's Bláithín here from Style of Living, and I cannot believe but it is the start of the second week of January already, and for me this is the perfect time to start my bullet journal because, yay, I'm not sick, yay! Normally this time of year I get the flu or the cold or a combination of all, and it knocks me out for about 2 or 3 weeks. So I put off these kind of like new projects until I'm better again, because otherwise they just don't get done, or I lose interest in them, or I associate them with being sick and I don't want to do them. So I kind of waited. It is now the 8th of January and I have like waited a full week and a bit, well, a full week and a day, to see if I was going to get sick, and I have not. So I think it's the perfect time to start, which was kind of a long... This is something I have wanted to do for months and months and months, and I've actually been sort of like researching it and trying to figure out how and what I would do and how I would do it. And one of the things, as well as YouTube and Instagram, that has really helped me is this book here. I bought this before Christmas, and it's basically, as the name suggests, the 365 bullet guide. It is like a guide on how to create and use a bullet journal, and it goes through everything from like the dailies, the monthlies, the yearlies, to kind of like the one-off fun stuff. It even does like scripts and you know, sort of like drawing fun things and stuff like that. So really great for somebody like me. I have never used a bullet journal before. I have admired them and like drooled over them for years now, and it's something I've always wanted to do, but I never felt I had the time to do it. And now that I have this kind of nice, you know, sort of like 6-month window of trying to figure out what I'm going to do next in my career and my life, I figure this is as good a time as any to start one. Now, the reason I'm using the heart-shaped notebook, which many people, including one of my best friends, thinks is crazy, is because I have been looking for the right like bullet journal notebook for a few months now, and I found ones that have like been almost right, and ones that haven't suited at all. And because I want to kind of physically see the book, it's kind of eliminated a lot of options that would be online, although my friend did suggest to me that I could just order and return, which, you know, I never thought of. But anyway, she also suggested in the same conversation that I should just take any notebook and just start. See how I go, see if I like it, see if it's something I'm actually going to do before I invest any more time or indeed money into trying to find a notebook. So Laura, thank you, you're amazing. Laura is one of my very great friends, and she actually runs a YouTube channel as well called How to Get Your Shit Together, or How to GYST.com. I will link her, sorry, that took me way longer to think about than normal. I will link her channel below. Laura also uses a bullet journal and has many great videos on her setup and how she uses it. And she's also great at organizing, and basically, as the name of her channel and website suggests, helps you get your shit together. So yes, do check her out. But she suggested when we were talking about this that I should just go ahead and use any notebook and just get started. So my mum actually gave me this heart-shaped notebook. It's from Tiger, in my Christmas stocking, and it is actually just a plain bog standard, unruled, it's blank pages notepad. The page actually, they're kind of thin, so I am a little bit worried about bleed and, you know, sort of seeing through and stuff. But do you know what? I'm just gonna make a start. I want to, and trying to find the right notebook is just delaying me. Now I'm going to do my bullet journal a little bit differently, in the sense that I'm actually not going to include like the planning section or the sort of the daily to-dos and tasks, which I know is kind of weird because that is predominantly what many people use. I have a separate planner that I use for kind of keeping track of appointments and things like that and to-dos. But what I really wanted from the bullet journal and what really appealed to me was the fact that some people's are so creative and they're almost like a record of the creative, fun, sometimes aspirational kind of things in their life. Well, not necessarily aspirational, but the kind of the funner side of life. Does that make sense? And that's kind of what I wanted. And I suppose when I thought about using any notebook, because I have a lot, the heart-shaped one really appealed, despite its very odd shape, which I'm sure is going to throw up some, you know, obstacles and challenges. But yes, so I am not going to be including the kind of the daily and the weekly kind of like logs and things like that. That's not what I wanted this for. I've actually put a huge amount of thought into the spreads that I want to include in my bullet journal. And so the way I've broken it down is I kind of have like one-off spreads that would run for the full year. And then I have 8 spreads that I would like to do every month. So my one-off spreads include things like birthdays and books to read and Instagram goals and things I want to learn, a bucket list and a wish list, those kind of things. And then my monthly sort of spreads include things like, I don't know if goal tracker is the right word, but things like I want to, you know, keep a track on. Like some of them are really simple, like flossing, and other things are, you know, water drinking, you know, those kind of things. I want to have like one of those trackers. And then sort of a mood mandala. I really want to track my moods more so that I can see how they're going. And things like nice quotes, and I saw this, it was actually in this book, it's called a rage page. I just thought, oh my god, I need one of those every month. And then obviously a gratitude page to balance the rage. But yeah, so in total I have 13 sort of like one-off spreads plus the index plus my 8 monthly kind of like spreads that I would like to do. And in this size book I have counted the pages, and if I do each spread kind of across a double page like this, I will be hopefully able to use this for about 8 months, maybe a little bit short of 8 months. So that will give me a good indication as to whether or not I actually keep up with it and if it's something that I want to do. So now I am going to show you how I'm going to do this. I'm a bit nervous about this because it has been a very long time since I have sat down to be like creative. And that's kind of what I want from this. I want this to be like a kind of a creative outlet, so I'm hoping to make it look pretty. That's going to take some time obviously and probably won't be established in this video, but my plan is just to set up a few basic spreads so you get the sense and the idea of where I'm going with it, and then in a month or two I am going to come back and show you, because obviously at that point I'll have 1 or 2 months of spreads completed and hopefully some of the other ones sort of completed as well as I go along. So I thought that would be fun because I do see these, like, they seem like professional artists that like take seconds to draw these amazing things. So I'm not one of those people. I was very artistic at one point, but since the kind of like the creation of Pinterest and all those kind of things, there's less and less that you need to hand draw in order to get a sort of like an idea or a concept across. So it's been a while. So, and that's really why I want a creative outlet like this as well. So I'm going to move into my office and start to show you how I'm going to start this. I haven't like massively planned this out. I have a couple of ideas of things I want to do in that, and because this isn't dotted or ruled, I expect it's going to take me slightly longer than I anticipate, but let's see how we get on. So guys, hi, here we are in my office. I hope you're going to be able to see this. What I have done is I've already gone in and penciled over, which you won't be able to see from this distance, some of the things that I want to do. And I've got some of the tools that I have been using, which are, as you can see, very, very basic. Just a normal pencil, nothing fancy. A steel ruler. I prefer steel rulers because I feel like they've got a better, cleaner edge. A rubber. So the pens I have chosen is a V7 High-Tech Point 0.7 Pilot pen. There is the nib. So I'm not going to use this a great deal because, as I said, I'm concerned about bleed through. And then I'm going to try this. What is this? This is an Acroball, again by Pilot, and it's a 10. This is just like a normal kind of like big pen. I'm probably going to do, is this the same one? Actually, maybe I'll use the Papermate Inkjoy instead. So yeah, I'm going to make a start on this and see how I go. And then obviously there's going to be no colour or major decoration in this yet. I will just show you in its plain simple black and white format. And as I say, in a couple of weeks, or in a couple of months, I will do another one when it's all kind of like prettied up and coloured in. I'm thinking I'm just going to use colouring pencils for this as opposed to marker or paint because of how thin the paper is. But let's get going. And I also have this here, mainly probably for the index. I've already kind of tested it out and I think I'm going to use that to write in, but that will be at the very, very end. But the first thing I'm going to do is write an index. So what I might do is work away on this and then speed up the process and kind of talk to you guys at the end. I have done the initial setup of my bullet journal, my heart-shaped bullet journal. So I'm going to give you a quick flip through. Obviously this is just the initial setup. It's not fully decorated or complete. But, so I'm leaving this blank, and then here we have the index, which I have started to fill out there. I don't think that will focus for you, but you get the gist of it. The next page is where I was planning to put the yearly or annual spread, but I'm having a bit of trouble figuring how to do that, so I've left it blank for now. And then here we have our birthdays to remember. Obviously, you know, not all complete yet, but you get the idea of the birthday balloons. And then here I've got books to read, and then I'm going to score them. So I've got 2 shelves of fiction and 2 for non-fiction, obviously yet to be filled in. And as I read the book, I'm going to colour it in. So I have a number of books already reserved, or sort of like on my reading list in my local library. I'm just waiting for them to come in, and then I will start that. And then scoring is self-explanatory. Then these are movies to watch. As I watch them, I'm going to put them in the little boxes and that. And these are my milestones for Instagram and YouTube. As I reach them, I'm going to obviously colour in the bubble or the circle. And the same for Facebook and Twitter. And these all relate to my style of living profiles. And here I've got 18 for 18. So these are 18 things that I want to do or accomplish this year. I haven't actually kind of figured them all out yet, so I haven't written them in yet. And these are things that I want to learn this year. Again, I'm still fleshing this out. I have some ideas, and I'm going to draw in the kind of like an icon that will represent the item or thing once I finalize them. This is my weight loss journey. So since last year I have been in Slimming World. So these are each star relates to a pound. So every time I lose the pound, I am going to colour it in, and hopefully by the end of this specific journal's life I will have lost 33 pounds. This is for my bucket list, yet to be filled in. This I'm leaving blank. This is for January. I'm going to do like a nice, you know, sort of like intro to the month. This is my daily tracker. It's not complete yet, but I just colored in a few boxes so that you get the general idea of what I'm doing there. And this I'm going to put some nice inspirational quotes on. And this is my mood mandala. I haven't started it yet, and my idea is once I've filled in all the lines of colours, I'm going to draw like a flower over it. This wasn't conducive to doing sort of like a circular one, and then after I had done this I actually saw online this beautiful flower one, which each flower was a day of the month, which would have been beautiful there, but I will do that next month. And then I think this is another blank page for some like inspirational stuff. This is my rage page and followed swiftly by my gratitude reflections for the month. And then the last spread in my monthly section are the moments to cherish. I do have a journal, but just, you know, quick little things to write down. And this is where I will start February when the time comes. Or add in more if I feel like it. So as I say, this is just a quick flip through. I will come back in a couple of months when I've actually started to use it, you know, to show you how it's all been decorated and so on and so forth, and how I am getting on. If you've just started a bullet journal and have a video or you've pictures of it on your Instagram, do leave them linked below. I love, love, love looking at them for the inspiration. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please do give it a thumbs up if you like it, and if you haven't already done so, please do subscribe. I shall see you next week. I've got a pretty cool DIY dupe for the Lancome Rose Highlighter coming up next week, which will also make a perfect gift for your female friends if you're looking for something fun and different and absolutely gorgeous to give them. So do check back next week for that. See you then, guys. Bye.